going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Ryan. If you're new here, smash that subscribe button. But we're actually on the way to Toxic Customs today and haven't really heard too much about how little or how much progress has been made on the Viper. I'm a little nervous at the lack of updates, to be honest with you. So I dropped the car off about a month ago. If you haven't checked out that video and know what's going on, I'll link it down below. But I've got a 4th gen 2008 Dodge Viper that I'm kind of doing a front bumper conversion. So I've always liked the look of the 5th gen bumpers. So I've dropped the car off at Toxic Customs and they're going to take care of the conversion for me. So we did like a little preliminary measurement, kind of that kind of thing, like on my own. But yeah, it's in their hands now and they're going to be the ones actually doing the work. So yeah, don't know how much they've got done, but we're on the way to check it out today. So stay tuned. Just rolled up to Toxic Customs, so trying to find out a few things today. One, an ETA on when they'll be done, so because I was hoping they might be finished or getting close, so we'll kind of see. But yeah, ETA on when they'll actually be done with the project, and then also just how far along they are, and then kind of two, do they have a ballpark on price, because that's gonna be interesting as well. But let's jump on in here and see what they got for us. Well, a little obvious, as you can tell, I'm back home now, made it home from Toxic Customs, but got some good news and some bad news. Bad news is, it's been about a month or so since I've dropped the car off, and there's been very little progress. That's kind of what I was afraid of on the way there, but good news is we got a game plan going forward, and there should be a whole lot more updates, like a little more frequently as well, at least I hope. So while I was there, I didn't want to throw a camera in anybody's face, so like I took notes and tried to take a little bit of video where I could, when I could. So got there, yeah, basically all they had at this point was the bumper removed, but they had kind of done a little test fitting, which we had done some of that preliminary stuff here in the Chaos Garage. They found some of the things we found, that one, the Gen 5 bumper is about like an inch on each side wider than the Gen 4 cars. So no matter what, the new Gen 5 bumper is gonna have to be like lopped down the middle and then grafted to get back together to actually fit the width of the Gen 4 car. So that's problem number one, which we already knew that going into. So no big deal. A lot of good news though is there won't be much like cutting, or actually a lot of, like, I had come up with a potential parts list of all the Gen 4, like the bumper structure, like the inner core and everything, along with the bumper cover, the side markers, that kind of stuff. So the aesthetic outside part that you see within like all the inner workings, I'd priced all that out, and he said we probably won't need any of that. So realistically, we've already got the bumper cover. The only thing we probably need or will need is the side markers and the grill insert itself. So that's good, because I was thinking we would, be stripping a lot of the old Gen 4 stuff off and trying to make the Gen 5 stuff work. But the way that it plays out is we're thinking that the bumper will lay over all that inner structure. Like, it might be close, it might kind of touch a little bit, but as far as like, support and everything and not having to cut anything, it'll work. So we got two options as far as how to go about like mating the Gen 4 to the Gen 5. So the Gen 4 kind of has like a lot more of a rake to it before the bumper starts. So it naturally, when you put the Gen 5 bumper up there, there's about, I don't know, 6-inch gap between the hood and then the start where like the Gen 5 bumper wants to lay. So that gap can either be filled up one of two ways. basically either take a piece of aluminum and create an insert, like a bumper fill between the hood. So when you close the hood, it'll match up. There'll be a seam, that natural seam where the hood lays, and then where the aluminum filler piece starts, there'll be the seam there. And then kind of running from headlight to headlight, that's where the aluminum will stop and the Gen 5 bumper will pick up. So then there would be a seam right from headlight to headlight, then to where the Gen 5 bumper is. That's option one. Again, he's gonna mock it up using that CAD cardboard aided design. And then so that way I can get a visual of what it'll look like, because in my head I'm just picturing, I don't think I like the idea of a seam right there. Like the Gen 5, the Gen 4 itself is smooth. You know, like there's no gapping, no panels, no seams, nothing like that. It's just very smooth. So I'm already in my head, I'm thinking like that's probably not a good option, but I want to hear him out, see what, you know, see what it looks like. And that would actually be the cheaper route, and we wouldn't have to butcher the Gen 4 bumper at all. Like that would 100% remain intact. Option two, which kind of think is the way I'm leaning, would be just basically cut off the very top portion. So we have that panel gap already, you know, this kind of built in, it's already there, it's mint, it flows directly into the bumper. But basically right below the headlight, just completely lop that all off, and then graft the lower, everything from the headlights down will be Gen 5, and then headlights up will be the Gen 4 bumper, and then just, yeah, graft them together. So that's, I think, the way that I'm leaning. A few little standout things that we talked about was the Gen 5 bumper. It has like the brake ducting openings on each side, so it actually filters air perfectly to your brakes. So with the Gen 4, it didn't have that. So what we'd actually have to do is like cut the fender liner and then fill it with mesh, so that way like there's that natural airflow, so that you have like the airflow channeling into the bumper. That way it's just not getting stuck and has somewhere to go. So cut a little hole in the fender liner and feed that air through. Happy to say like the hood latch actually should remain in place. So unlike normal cars, you pop the hood from within the cabin. With the Viper, you have to, anybody can just walk by and open the hood of your car, unfortunately. So you just reach through the grill and pull that latch to pop your hood. So that'll actually be able to remain intact, because I was concerned, I didn't know if it had to be relocated and how you would even go about that. So he thinks it'll work as far as like, yeah, keeping that in the same location. I hate there hasn't been much more progress made on the car, but I just wanted to put something out, update you all, because I know I'm super excited about the project, and I was hoping at this point I would have a whole lot more to show you, but just trying to be transparent. I'd rather take a little extra time and then dedicate their time to it and make sure I'm happy when we're walking away. So that's what I care about most. But I'll continue to update you all as soon as I get updates. But I really appreciate everybody watching. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you in the next one.